Hello. Today we have chapter 1 of A Course in Miracles. In the first section, Principles of Miracles, I'm going to read the first 25. And I think I got a sort of warning or a focus that I'm going to be talking a lot. I'm going to be pausing to receive and share what's coming through. So it's going to be more than the first 25 principles. It's in order to bring me deeper into it and bring me deeper into stillness in general. And as I allow that, then there's a benefit too for whoever tunes in. Okay, so the first principle, there is no order of difficulty in miracles. One is not harder or bigger than another. They are all the same. All expressions of love are maximal. And it tunes me into how the ego cannot decide even what an expression of love is. The ego cannot decide the quality of an expression of love. The ego cannot decide the success or failure of an expression of love. And I'm very accustomed to turning to ego to try to decide these things. So focusing on allowing the miracles, the perception shifts, the focus on unity, focusing on that focuses us away from all the judging the ego would do about all of this at the same time. Miracles as such do not matter. I like that one. Miracles as such do not matter. The only thing that matters is their source, which is far beyond evaluation. And if you're having a similar experience to mine, then you realize more and more that your job is to focus on this source above all else, above ego's commentary on anything, to focus on this source. Miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. So that means we don't have to worry about them. They happen naturally. We don't do them in a sense. I always have the feeling that I allow it through me. The real miracle is the love that inspires them. In this sense, everything that comes from love is a miracle. All miracles mean life, and God is the giver of life. His voice will direct you very specifically. You will be told all you need to know. So what my attention is drawn to there is all miracles mean life. At the same time, I feel the certainty the ego's voice knows nothing about life, and so I don't need to listen to it. Miracles are habits and should be involuntary. They should not be under conscious control. Consciously selected miracles can be misguided. So I never choose what a miracle is supposed to be applied to. I never choose to perform a specific miracle. I just leave myself open. Miracles are natural. When they do not occur, something has gone wrong in the mind. Miracles are everyone's right, but purification is necessary first. To even understand our ability to allow miracles, we have to allow our thinking to be cleared, thought by thought, feeling by feeling, as we notice we're attached to untrue thoughts. We have to allow Spirit to clear all that thinking, and then we can get into the miracle space. Okay, miracles are healing because they supply a lack. They are performed by those who temporarily have more, for those who temporarily have less. Miracles are a kind of exchange, like all expressions of love, which are always miraculous in the true sense. The exchange reverses the physical laws. They bring more love both to the giver and the receiver. So, what I've been noticing is that the idea of physical laws interferes less in my perception. It doesn't come up as much. It's hard to describe, but it loses importance. It fades into the background, and what's more important than a past. It's a perception of a physical law is always from a past. What's more important is what's here right now. I always close my eyes to when I talk about that. Okay, let's see. This is number 10. The use of miracles as spectacles to induce belief is a misunderstanding of their purpose. So they're not going to be like magic tricks. They're not going to be like something somebody performs to get love or get attention or be thought of as great. They're just natural, and they're not supposed to be or be offered in order that people will believe. We're actually being released from our beliefs through miracles. All right. Prayer is the medium of miracles. It is a means of communication of the created with the creator. Through prayer, love is received, and through miracles, love is expressed. So it feels more and more like we live in prayer as we go on this inward journey. And this is from somebody who used to think prayer was not something I wanted to be associated with in any way. I thought it was people assuming they needed to pray for you when you didn't need to be prayed for. It felt weird to me, but I didn't understand that the inward sense is a sense I already had, and is something I already did. I just didn't know that's what people were calling prayer. So now I can say the word and not feel threatened there because I was misinterpreting others before. But to me, it's like we live in prayer, and then miracles are natural. Miracles are thoughts. Thoughts can represent the lower or bodily level of experience, or the higher or spiritual level of experience. One makes the physical, and the other creates the spiritual. Miracles are both beginnings and endings, and so they alter the temporal order. They are always affirmations of rebirth, which seem to go back, but really go forward. They undo the past and the present, and thus release the future. So the way it seems for me now is that by the inward focus that allows the miracle, it's like a segment of time gets highlighted and collapsed, and highlighted and collapsed, and I become more and more aware that I have that option. If I want to go into disordered, critical thinking, disquiet judgment, I'm more aware now of what I'm choosing. I'm choosing to trudge through the trials of time with no assistance. But if instead I want to give up my judgments, and I'm curious about, well, what's prior to those judgments? What's real here if the judgments are unreal? Then I go into that space where it seems like a whole segment of time on my journey gets highlighted and collapsed. And we just emerge further on in the journey, not really knowing anything has happened, but nothing happened because this whole journey hasn't happened. But because we allowed the perception to change, needless suffering got erased. That's what it feels like right now. Okay. I think this is, yeah. Miracles bear witness to truth. They are convincing because they arise from conviction. Without conviction, they deteriorate into magic, which is mindless and therefore destructive, or rather the uncreative use of mind. So it's not about what seems to be happening. It's about allowing what the inward focus gives to us, allowing ourselves to remember what's real. Each day should be devoted to miracles. The purpose of time is to enable you to learn how to use time constructively. It is thus a teaching device and a means to an end. Time will cease when it is no longer useful in facilitating learning. So what's the purpose of time? It's for, well, hello, being presence now. Good to see you. It's for miracles. It's for allowing miracles. Miracles are teaching devices for demonstrating it is as blessed to give comes first, as to receive. They simultaneously increase the strength of the giver and supply strength to the receiver. Now, I have started to see this in a new way because the giver is the seeming consciousness that allows the remembrance of reality, and the receiver seems to be someone else, right? But what I feel right now is the receiver is all beings because there's only one being. So, as let's say me, as I allow my perception to be changed, then everything I seem to walk through and encounter gets changed with me, with my perception. So that's what I allowed to change, my perception. So everything changes or advances or sort of drops out of suffering as one. That's how it seems to me right now. Miracles transcend the body. They are sudden shifts into invisibility, away from the bodily level. That is why they heal. A miracle is a service. It is the maximal service you can render to another. It is a way of loving your neighbor as yourself. You recognize your own and your neighbor's worth simultaneously. And here's another area where I've been guided to see it differently. Myself and my neighbor are one. And as I stop perceiving my neighbor as the separate one, of course, giving and receiving is the same. Of course, I want only benefit for us both because we are just one. So it's like we sink deeper into this and we remember more as we focus on it. Okay, miracles make minds one in God. They depend on cooperation because the sonship is the sum of all that God created. Miracles therefore reflect the laws of eternity, not of time. And this is number 20. Miracles reawaken the awareness that the spirit, not the body, is the altar of truth. This is the recognition that leads to the healing power of the miracle. And I have to admit to you that along my journey, I have often thought, I don't know what a miracle is. It's not what I thought it is. And then I'll kind of relax into my learning path and then I'll pop up again. I don't know what a miracle is. It's not what I thought it was. It's not things happening in a big way that please the ego. That's not what it is. So I'm still finding out what it is, but I do have this sense of allowing that, to me, that those words are very closely related. Okay. Let's see where I am. Miracles, I did that one. That was number 20. Okay, 21. Miracles are natural signs of forgiveness. Through miracles, you accept God's forgiveness by extending it to others. 22. Miracles are associated with fear only because of the belief that darkness can hide. You believe that what your physical eyes cannot see does not exist. This leads to a denial of spiritual sight. Miracles rearrange perception and place all levels in true perspective. This is healing because sickness comes from confusing the levels. So what my attention is drawn to there is a rearranged perception. Hi, Ronan. Thank you. We are the miracles. Yes, we are. Okay. Miracles enable you to heal the sick and raise the dead. Why? Because it's in my perception. Why would I block anything? Why would I block the perception of healing? Why would I block the perception of rebirth or restoration? We learn not to block that. Okay, because you made sickness and death yourself and therefore can abolish both. We can abolish the perception of that. And every day for me is remembering that and not thinking life is along some predetermined track that has to follow all these laws and all the assumptions the past would give me, but just to come into the now and allow whatever wants to blossom forth in my sight to blossom forth. Okay, you are a miracle. There we go. Capable of creating in the likeness of your Creator. Everything else is your own nightmare and does not exist. That's an important sentence for me. Everything else is your own nightmare and does not exist. I could read that a few times a day and remember that. Only the creations of light are real. The creations of light are abstract. They're not physical. Time and space is what I made, and that has always been unreal. And it's what I use to distract myself and block the remembrance of the light. Miracles are a part of an interlocking chain of forgiveness, which, when completed, is the atonement. Atonement works all the time and in all dimensions of time. And sometimes I'm given a picture of this. That was the last one. I'm given a picture of this, like timelines swirling down the toilet. I get a lot of toilet metaphors and coming into one healed timeline. And it's all about the perception. And to see the perception we perceive, it's not like the things we perceive are real, we perceive. And to see that the perception is exactly the way I want it to be, no matter what I'm perceiving, it's always a big wake up call. And to realize then, well, then the only place to go is in to have the perception corrected. When perception is corrected, it shows me I'm loved, I'm loving, and I'm very safe. And it shows me everyone is loved, loving, and very safe. So every day is for coming into the willingness to see this blossom forth from everyone and everything. This is our power, and it's our shared power, and we just relax into that. That's what every day is for me. So I hope this helped, and I will be back tomorrow with the, I think it's the second set of 25. I think there are 50 principles. Thank you.